So you're doing Amazon FBA product research for the first time, and you found this criteria online, some kind of high demand, low competition criteria. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why that is holding you back. It's absolutely wrong, and if you keep following that, you'll never find a product. Let me explain. What's up, Empire Builders? JT Franco here. Excuse the kind of clogged nose. I have a bit of a cold, but I want to bring this video to you guys. Now, I know that intro is a bit aggressive, but what I'm talking about are those criteria where it tells you to have, less than 150 reviews, more 300 or more sales, 7,000 or more monthly revenue, with a price point of $17 to $39. You've all heard of that criteria, right? And that's why that's the problem, because everyone is using that exact criteria, right? So what's this box? It's literally a box like this, and everyone is looking within the box. You heard think outside the box. Everyone's inside this box. They're using Viral Launcher Jungle Scout. They have the same exact criteria, and they're reaching into the box, right? Reaching in like this, reaching in, and they're all pulling out the same exact product, and they're thinking, why am I getting the same product as everyone else? Well, you're looking in the same damn box. So what you need to do is literally look outside the box and really don't put a box around it. So I'm going to show you exactly how we do product research. And when I say we, I'm talking about us, the Empire Builders, which you are if you subscribe. So don't forget to subscribe to become an Empire Builder, so you can understand and learn this method of product research and how you actually can filter through it and have a less limiting limits on yourself, right? So let's get into it. Okay, so the way we like to look at product research is as a funnel, right? So it's essentially like a sales, if you've ever been in a sales job, like look at a sales funnel where the top of the funnel is what we call prospecting, right? So at the top of the funnel, when we're prospecting, that means you're just looking, hitting as many doors as possible. So in sales, when you're knocking door to door, prospecting is when you're hitting doors. So your sales manager always wants you to hit as many doors as possible. So that's the way I like to look at product research, is get as many prospective products as possible and put them into the top of the funnel, right? So the top of the funnel, let me just move this because it's kind of in the way. The top of your funnel is your idea section, right? So this is where you have your light bulbs, right? So that's my light bulb. So this is where you're putting your light bulbs, your ideas, and you're pushing as many as possible, putting them all in. Right now, in the middle of the funnel now, what you have is your validation process. So let's put, I like to use a telescope here. But this isn't the telescope. And what you want to do here is validate, right? So you're scoping in, you're zooming in on this product and looking based on criteria, but not the same criteria you're familiar with. What is this product worth it? Is this a valuable product that can then come out the bottom and equal a money sign? Right, so the top of the funnel is idea, the bottom of the funnel is money, right? That's the idea of the funnel. So what most people are doing, right, what most people's funnels look like, they're not prospecting, they're not filling the top of the funnel. What they're doing is, well, they are, but they're not validating properly. They're not validating all at the same time. Their funnels typically look like this, like a straight line, right? So they have like two filters maybe. They'll look at sales, right? And they'll look at reviews. So sales, reviews, and then they'll have like maybe, a few ideas in there. And then what they'll do is one idea will come through and they'll pass it straight through and they'll say, okay, that's money. But what then they do is they'll try to validate it after the fact. So they'll think, okay, sales, reviews look good. Now let me go to Alibaba and check this out. Let me talk to suppliers. Let me try to see where I can create a logo, what my brand name be for this product, and then they hit a wall. They realize, hey, maybe it's not as profitable as I thought it could be, right? Maybe I really can't source, I can't afford enough units to make a bang with this, and they hit a wall, and then all of a sudden, it's down to the next thing, right? Down to the next funnel where they're looking for products. As opposed to what we're doing here, now let me just delete the telescope for a second. What we're doing here is we have 5 screens that we're passing it through, 5 pillars that we're passing all of the products through at the same time, as opposed to 1 or 2 and getting excited and then running to a wall later on the line. We put the walls up here so that if a product doesn't make it, the idea is that it's a bunch of products here, a few there, slightly less until you have 1 or 2 that come through the bottom as potential ideas, right? So what are these screens? Of course, that's the question, right? So we got our first screen that we're going to pass it through, right? So Screen number one. When I say screen, I'm talking like, think about like a, what do you call that thing with the noodles? A strainer, right? A strainer. So it's got little holes in here, and you're passing it through. So you got a strainer. So number one is what I call sales signs. So sales signs is literally looking at the sales as the sign of whether or not you can go through or not, because the sales of a product it's literally the market proving itself, right? So it's literally the people who have launched products before you, launched these products before you, are telling you whether or not it's working or not, whether or not they are actually making money. So the first thing you want to look at is the sales. What's the sales of the product? What's the sales throughout all the products? Are they good? Now, again, I don't like the reason, and we'll see this in number two in opportunity balance. Well, I don't like saying, you know, it has to have 300 sales. It has to have 500 sales a month. It has to be 7,000 or more revenue. It's because you're really leaving a lot on the table, right? You're leaving a lot of opportunities on the table. You got to think about why a lot of people are giving out blank criteria. It's because it's formulated to find a specific type of product, this home run product, right? And that home run product is something that's so, like, again, in a box. So if you think about a home run product, a home run to one person could be a home run, might be a dud to someone else, right? And a dud to someone else might be a home run to someone else. It depends what your goals are. If your goal is to have a product that makes you 50,000 a month, 100,000 a month, whatever the crazy figures you see out there are, then you gotta realize that's gonna take a lot of capital, right? So to use the criteria to find a $50,000 product a month, do you have the capital to back that up? Or can you enter a market that's smaller, which has a smaller opportunity, maybe not as much revenue, right? Maybe it's only gonna bring you $2,000 a month, but then it's easier to enter, right? In that $2,000 a month, and then that's off the one product, and then you can launch another product, another, and all of a sudden you have, you know, 5 products at $2,000 a month. All of a sudden you're making $10,000 a month instead of chasing that one product that would have made you $10,000 a month, which would have a totally different criteria than something else, right? So sales signs. So look at the sales, right? Is it consistent? That's what we're looking at when we're looking at the sales. Is it consistent? Do they have enough for you to be happy, right? Is it within your goals? And look at the consistency of the sales over time. Look at the BSR, look at camel. Look at, you know, if you have viral launch market intelligence, look at the BSR that's showing you on the drop down. Is it consistent? Or is it, you know, just a fad product? Is it just a Christmas, a Valentine's Day, a, you know, Father's Day product? So that's the first thing we're looking at, sales signs. Now, the next thing we're gonna look at, filter number 2, is what I talked about a little bit. It's called opportunity. Okay, so opportunity balance is literally, now this is the hardest filter to pass through, but it's because it's the one that comes down to, again, it's most, like, it comes down to you. Like, there's no one can tell you yes or no on this. It's something you got to judge on your own. So opportunity balance is the balance between the opportunity. So is it a large market where you can kind of get in there, you know, be middle of the pack and be profitable, make money there, because it's such a big market, right? There's so many sellers, but the competition isn't too fierce, and you can get in there within, maybe there's guys at the top who are making $100,000 a month, but then, you know, 2 or 3 guys making that much, and then there's a mid-range of guys who are making, you know, maybe 7,000 a month, 8,000, 9,000 a month. It's a market where you can get there, right? You can with your budget get into that mid-range and be within $5,000, $7,000 a month. Where on the other end, there could be a smaller market, you know, much less activity in the market, much less sellers, much less search volume, much less people searching in that market, but the top, it's easier to get into the top, and the top is maybe it is 5,000 a month, right? And then all of a sudden it falls off, but it's such less competition, so such a smaller market that it's easier to get there and rank high there. It's pretty much the cliche of, do you want a small slice of a big pie, or do you want a bigger slice of a small pie, which really could end up being the same thing, but if you're having conventional criteria, you might not even see either of them, because one is at the low end of a smaller market. Maybe it doesn't have, you know, some people will tell you, you need to have an exact search volume for your main keyword of at least 20,000. But maybe this has a lower search volume than that, but there's still enough volume where you can get up there and make sales. Whereas this one is way out there, but you're not aiming for the top, you're aiming for the middle where you can still get in there and make sales, but it has, a higher upside. Maybe you want to go all in, go all at it and try to get the top 3 spots, but then again, you're going to need more capital to do that. You're going to need, maybe that's not so much of a beginner-friendly play. So that's where I'm talking about opportunity balance, where it's really trying to balance the opportunity between the markets and see where you can fit in, what makes most sense for you. And because at the end of the day, it's an opportunity, right? The small market, the big market, both of them are opportunities. It's a matter of which one can you attack, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about opportunity balance. So the next thing we're going to look at is what we call the Grand Slam screen. So the Grand Slam screen, if you're not familiar with this channel, I talk about the Grand Slam all the time, the Grand Slam system. And the Grand Slam is not looking at that home run, right? Because that home run product, it's the one-off, it's the fidget spinner, it's the one thing that will make you a bunch of money, but it'll eventually go away. A home run is where you're putting together an offer, a package that's more than just what the original product is, right? So it's a grand slam because no one can touch you because you have a differentiation. So this is really about making a difference. Where can you be different? Looking at where can you create a grand slam, right? So can you bundle it with something unique? Can you change the functionality, change the quantity, change the quality? Look where you can really stand out, make a mark where other people aren't. Is it just, can you brand it better? Can you be an eco-friendly? Can you be something different where it'll make a buying decision, an easier buying decision for a customer? Now again, don't get carried away here and make something totally different that no one ever asked for, because that's just as bad as not doing anything. You want to make sure it's something that actually affects that buying decision for a customer. So that means going to frequently bought together, going to negative reviews, right? Looking at that market and seeing, okay, where is everyone struggling? Can I make a difference there? And can I be the one guy that stands out? So the next filter on the list that we are going to look at is in gold, because it is cash flow. So now we know that the sales signs are good. It has consistent, healthy sales. The opportunity balance is great. Maybe it's a good market and it's something we can fit into the fold and make a killing. And we passed the Grand Slam screen. We know that we're going to make a difference in a certain way. Maybe it's by a bundle or whatever it is. Now the last question is it going to make money with all this accounted for, with the Grand Slam screen, with the bundle, with the way we differentiate the product, with how many units we need, with the cost of shipping, the cost of product manufacturing, the cost that we're going to sell the product at. Are we going to make money on the product? So it's as simple as that. It's as simple as going to the FBA calculator, putting in the product and seeing where that margin is. And we want to see if it's anything less than 30%, then it's cutting it close, right? If you're at 20, 15%, I wouldn't do it, because you're not allowing yourself enough room for growth, enough room for error, enough room for advertisement costs, where it's safe, right? You need that space. It's not just about how much money can I make as much money as possible. It's about you need a certain amount of space to make it work, right? So next is cash flow. And if you pass that, like I said, there are 5 screens. If you pass cash flow, then you got one more pillar to pass through, and that pillar is called the empire potential. So does it have the potential to create an empire with? That means with a product, never forget, a lot of this thing that people get in their heads is the truth is you do only need one product to change your life, right? A single product can change your life, because whatever that product is making you $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 a month, that's a life changer, right? But after one product, you are not done. You still need to build this out. If you're looking at Amazon FBA as a one and done thing, you're not looking at it right. You got to see Amazon FBA as a long-term game where you're building out a portfolio of products that's going to stack over time and that can create an empire, right? That's why we're empire builders, right? If Rome just put up a Colosseum and then called it a day, would they be an empire? Absolutely not, right? It is everything in the Roman Empire that created an empire, not just the one big thing, right? So creating an empire is about looking at this product. It's got everything. It's going to cash flow. It's got to make a difference. But what's the product after that, right? What's the product after that? What's the product in that product line, in this brand that is going to make it work? And this is part of the process, because, like I said, if you're passing products through here, right? Say let's put a highlighter in here. If you're passing products through here, it goes through everything, and then you have, say you have 3 products and they're all on the Empire Potential, right? These 3 products are good to launch because they've passed the other 4 things. They're good to go. What product are you gonna go with? You're gonna go with the one that has the biggest future. The one with the biggest future is the one that has the biggest product line behind it. So if you launch a product and you know that, okay, product 2, 3, 4, 5, I have it in the bag, I know exactly what it is, then go for it, right? So if you have 4 products and one of them has totally, it's a one-off, there's nothing you can build around it. The product 2 has 2 products, product 3 has, you know, 1 product, product 4 has 4 products, and go with product 4 because you have the biggest, you know what the next following products are going to be. So once that product is launched and you see it's doing well, you can start with the next product, and then also you have 2 products, 3, 4 products, or if you have the capital, launch 2 at the same time, 3 at the same time. Again, I don't suggest that if you're new. That's what I did, and I struggled. But the problem when I did it was that it was 3 products in total, all 3 separate categories, 3 unrelated products, right? So if you want to go for this and go it this way, then good to go. Now this right here is really the criteria you should be using to analyze your products. Don't get put in a box. Like the criteria of a certain amount of reviews and a certain amount of sales, that's good to fill the top of the funnel, right? If you're using product discovery, you put in those filters and then whatever. Those are just filters, right? They're not criteria of what is actually a good product to launch. Now I know I could have covered this way deeper in this video, but that would have been an hour and 25-minute video. So if you want more info on this, definitely go join the Empire Academy while it's 50% off. I'm going to be launching the new course very, very soon. The new course comes out at a new price, but if you buy it now, you are grandfathered in. So if you want more on this, if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments first of all. Go ahead, if you don't want to comment anything, just leave a castle emoji so I know to make more videos like this. And again, don't forget to subscribe to become an Empire Builder. Now, what is Empire Builder? Is every single one of you that grinds day in and day out to build your very own empire. But most importantly, you never give up because you know that your empire awaits.